Good morning, art lovers and car enthusiasts. I'm here on a beautiful Naples morning with Jim Buonavolonta, the owner of the gallery at Ultimate Garages, and also Jay Shaw, who is the owner of Shaw Gallery in downtown Naples. So welcome, guys, and so thrilled to be here with you this morning in what has to be probably one of the most unique venues in North America in terms of blending beautiful exotic vehicles with beautiful exotic art. So let's get into it. I'm Joanne Poluch with Remarque Art Consulting. Let's get going and let's do some introductions so that people can learn a little bit more about you and your creative ventures here. So Jim, take it away.
Sure. I'm Jim Buonavolonta, founder of Ultimate Garages here in Naples, Florida. Always been a car enthusiast. I always felt there was a need for automotive storage, and that was the first business model of what we do. We just extended it into everything automotive, including a gallery. My motto is passion with a purpose. So everything that we do, there's some charitable contribution. So it's about giving back to the community. And so that's what this whole thing's about.
How many artists are in the gallery, Jim?
We have about 8 now.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we continue to grow and expand with the help of this brilliant man, Jay Shaw.
You bet.
It's a great collaboration.
You bet. So Jay, what's your jam?
So my name's Jay Shaw. I'm the owner of Shaw Gallery. Shaw Gallery was initially created by my grandmother and grandfather 38 years ago. And we've actually been in the same location in Fifth Avenue for that entire time. And my grandfather actually built some of the original walls that were in there that were unfortunately wiped out by Hurricane Ian. But since the hurricane, we've been able to rebuild and build one of the top galleries and most technologically advanced art galleries in the country. Being a very young gallery owner, I approach the business with very youthful and new techniques. I have a lot of access to technology, and I love technology, so I use that to my advantage. And some of the unique things that we created in Shaw Gallery really is combining light and art in a unique way, and we've also done that here at Ultimate Garages. We're in the process of creating that system here as well. But a few things that I can do at my gallery is we can create a full museum style experience. So as a young entrepreneur, I love building my business, and we're up to 6 locations now here in Naples, but I can't always be in the gallery the whole time. So I really needed to find a way to help my guys and customers learn more about the art when they came into the gallery, even if I wasn't there with all my knowledge base. So what I did is I combined 2 elements. I combined Josh AI and Ketra, which will be in here in Ultimate Garages here shortly. And it allows us to program some really incredible experiences. So, you know, one of the artists behind us, let's say you came into Ultimate Garages and you wanted to learn more about this artist, we can push a button, all the lights shut off, the light will be tuned to that particular painting, and we'll have an AI voice come over and actually educate you on the artist, his history, his biography, and we can do that with any of the artwork here, and then also extend that into cars. With some of the engines, we can program engine sounds into it, and it just makes it a really immersive gallery experience. And of course, I'm a collector and I love art myself, so I approach it as a collector, which is unique as well.
Going to Shaw Gallery is a little bit like going to a museum without going to a museum.
I don't charge people at the door. Yeah,
It's
no.
a phenomenal experience for the viewers that perhaps haven't had an opportunity to visit. It really is incredible and one of a kind, and it's always so joyful to go into the gallery. And you're always charming and gracious,
Oh,
Jay.
thank you.
So it's wonderful. So let's get into a little bit about this creative, unusual collaboration between you two. Cars and art, and what a beautiful combination that is. So Jim, I'm going to ask you this question. What sparked the creation for this endeavor?
It was a Ferrari 488 Challenge engine coffee table. I received a call from Shaw Gallery. They had this remarkable piece. The Challenge engine is the racing engine of the Ferrari Challenge series in North America and Europe. And so this engine was designed by Tom Bates and brought over to Ultimate Garages. I saw it, it's a piece of art, and Jay asked if we can, put it up for sale, and with part of the proceeds going to charity. We did that. 48 hours it's sold. And I said, this is something, the beginning of something really good here. Yeah, I mean, if you look at these engines, they're remarkable. The Ferrari design, it's art. So when we talk about art in cars and engines, it all flows together. It's all part of the same process. So yeah, that was the beginning. And you know, Jay is much younger than I am. And so the first thing I asked Jay, I said, listen, here, you know, creating Ultimate Garages, again, it's about giving back. You know, it's about, the fun is the nice cars and the art, it's all great, but there has to be a purpose. And Jay was on board immediately. He says, absolutely. So that was the beginning of contributing to the Neighborhood Health Clinic, which is a charity of mine that I'm passionate about as a cardiologist. They take care of uninsured poverty patients here in the community, and so the gallery proceeds help with that cause, and it's a tremendous cause. But that was the beginning. It was a Ferrari 488 Challenge engine coffee table.
And you guys have really never looked back.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
You know, once you put two strong entrepreneurial spirits together, the magic happens, right?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things with Jim and I, we both grew up with nothing, so we've come a very long way. It's been a very long path, and I think that has a lot to do with why we love giving back to people and helping people as much as we possibly can. And if we can do that through sharing the beauty and passion and love of art and what art can do for people. I mean, art can heal people, art can inspire people. I mean, it's a very powerful experience, and especially when you have it in your home and you're surrounded with it. I mean, just even here in the last 9 months, some of the artists that you've brought in are really, really, really good artists, and you can see throughout this venue some serious talent, you know, really talented artists. You've got a great eye, Jim, and it's been fun to be a part of that process.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
So Jim, you also host monthly soirees here.
Yes.
Where you invite car lovers and art lovers into the garage for a special evening. Can you talk a little bit about that experience and how somebody that perhaps feels a little bit intimidated with cars and art, how you've been able to facilitate such a wonderful collaboration to make people feel comfortable and to have them learn a little bit more about what you're doing here?
Sure, I mean, it's about having fun. So we create this environment where as soon as you walk through the Ultimate Garages sign and see these garage doors open and you just get your first glance, you know there's passion in here. The people, it's an uplifting environment, it's a fun environment, it's an educational environment. I always have artists, I have Jay talk about different aspects of the artworks, glassworks, and so it's an educational aspect of it. We've added audio-visual component to it, so it becomes a very interesting, dynamic place to have fun, to learn about art, and have that purpose of giving back to the community.
It's very well received in the community and growing every month with more people interested in the collaboration.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Did you guys ever really see that there could ever be a collaboration such as this before you started this?
I wonder, what are your thoughts on that? Have you seen it?
Well, talking about collaboration of art and cars, I would say absolutely. If you look at the car, before the car is built, it's designed. So it always starts with art. It starts with the artist who draw the images. So the art, cars, it goes hand in hand. If you look at some of these exotic cars, some of these designers, take for instance Horatio Pagani, who designed, who is the founder of the Pagani automobile. It's a work of art. I look at that car, it's like, why is that on the road? That should be hanging on the wall. Marcello Gandini, from the House of Bertone. So my Italian's going to come out now.
Bring it on.
Because you get these Italian designers. So Marcello from the House of Bertone designed for many automotive manufacturers: Alfa Romeo, Maserati, Lucia, Ferrari, Lamborghini. So these artists, these designers created what we see today. Pininfarina, designer for Ferrari for many, many years, up until recently. I mean, these are automobiles, when you look at them, they stand still, but they look fluid. I mean, that's art. right? To create an object
Art on
that's
wheels.
not moving, yet it looks fluid. So yeah, I would say absolutely the art and the automobile go hand in hand. I'm even thinking of Maserati. The Maserati brothers in Bologna, they're engineers, so they didn't really know much about, artistic aspects of things. So they bring their cousin Mario Maserati, who in Bologna is at the Piazza di Maggiore, which is the famous piazza in Bologna, and he sees the trident, Neptune, and that was the symbol of the Maserati, and it took an artist, Mario Maserati, to do that. So yeah, there's definitely a marriage of art, automobile, design. It all flows.
And I couldn't agree more with all of that. I mean, what I've found naturally, people who collect art tend to have a fine appreciation for things created by human beings, right? That's what everything here is. The cars are handmade in Italy, a lot of them. Some of these designers that create these pieces, they're sculptures. They're functional sculptures, and from the inside out. And it's been a lot of fun to merge the two worlds, because even a lot of my customers who are big art collectors, they have big collections of cars too. So I've personally invited a few of them to come and join us for these events, and they love what Jim does here. We had a meeting the other day with some of the services he offers with the private spots for cars and emergency hurricane services. So it's been beneficial for both of us, and it seems to be so natural. I mean, we feel like family now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something about these great Italian minds, right?
Right.
And how these guys have left such a mark, certainly in the art history world, but also in the world of cars, right? They've had an incredible influence throughout the world. So let's talk about something that went on here in February, which was very exciting. And we had a celebrity here, so thanks to you, Jim, and Jade, can we talk about what that event looked like?
Yeah, Jay Leno came by to say hi. It was part of the Naples Automotive Experience. So another fundraiser, raising important dollars for St. Matthew's House, taking care of those battling addiction and homelessness. And so this Naples Automotive Experience, culminating with Cars on Fifth, one of the largest car gatherings, single car gatherings on the East Coast here in the States. So it was sort of surreal, because I met Jay at the airport with his security, and I had my Porsche, and he has his black SUV with security. And so Jay's coming out of the terminal there, and so I asked him, I said, Jay, you want to go in your security van, or you want to come in the red car? And he goes, I'll go in the red car. So I actually got to drive Jay Leno to his hotel, and that was kind of fun. Great man, tremendous giver in the communities around the world. But yeah, so that was a fundraiser. We raised over 2.7 million.
Incredible.
Again, it's part of the Naples Automotive Experience. And yeah, so we sold out. We extended tickets up to 25%, and again, we sold out. So it was a great event for a great cause. Tremendous event with Jay here.
There was also an art auction attached to the event as well, right? So art was auctioned off.
Absolutely, yeah. Some nice art was auctioned off, and again, it's all about raising funds for those in need. You take a discretionary item, jewelry, art, and then what do? We turn the purpose of that into non-discretionary items for people in need. So, I mean, it's kind of an interesting dynamic where we're selling art, we're selling things, and it benefits those that don't have the money for discretionary items. And so it makes you feel good. It's a good cause, and you're bringing good people together. Such a tremendous community here in Naples.
For sure, win-win-win,
Yeah.
right, all the way around. I was just going to, talk a little bit more about this partnering with you guys in terms of being such a leading player in the community with the philanthropic initiatives. So this looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. Here we are, sitting amongst all these luxury vehicles and beautiful art. But we didn't get here easily, and I'm sure there has been some challenges along the way. So Perhaps you can just talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you both have overcome to get here today.
I think probably one of the biggest challenges for me in the beginning is how do you display the art in a garage that's designed to display cars? How do you incorporate that? And it was funny timing because we had just built one of our vaults, is what we call it, and it's one of our storage facilities for our artwork. And I struggled with what do I do with paintings when I have 22-foot ceilings. And one of the things that we're working on here that we'll continue to do is bring the paintings up the walls. We've just incorporated some really, really state-of-the-art lighting, which is going to make a dramatic difference. That's also a challenge here in the garage, because when we do our events, it starts during the day and then it goes into night. So we have a little bit better light in the day, and so lighting is everything with artwork. So it's been a constant challenge, but you've done a great job, Jim, with some of the things that you've incorporated here to bring the art and cars and the space to life. It's changed a lot. You feel it when you come in here.
Yeah, it's one thing. You go to a gallery and you see the art, and you see lighting, and that's about all you know. But behind, especially the lighting that we have here at Shaw Gallery, the artwork changes. With the lighting, you can change the entire image as far as the color, the brilliance. So I'm looking forward to Jay's expertise and continue to grow that aspect of what we do here.
So let's talk about potential in what may the future look like. Do you see potential for expanding your collector base through this collaboration? And if so, how?
I've got a few ideas.
All right, let's hear it.
I always do, right?
Let's hear it.
So I mean, I think what we're doing with these art soirees, and we've talked about this quite a bit, Jim and I, is we'd like to build a culture. And back in the 70s with Andy Warhol and some of those, real Jane Maisonneuve, they built a culture, and it wasn't just about art. It was about people. It was about interacting. It was about, for us, we get to network with other great minds and other great entrepreneurs that come and are inspired by this. We get to do the philanthropic part of it, which we can continue to grow. One of the foundations I'm really inspired by is the Great Team. And they help veterans with that have been severely injured heal, and they have some incredible equipment. So I've been to a few of their events. I'd like to work with them and maybe do a big event here with Jim and Alternate Garages, very similar to Jay Leno. So there's the sky is the limit from here. I mean, let's keep doing these soirees. Let's keep perfecting the event. We do change the art for every event, so it's not the same every time you come. Everything rotates. Sometimes we'll bring live artists in, like Rogerio was just here. For those of you who don't know, Rogerio Peixoto is one of the top living artists in the world. He was invited by Jim Carrey to paint in his New York studio apartment. He's one of the only living artists whose work is on display along with Andy Warhol, Pablo Picasso, and Monet and all those big guys. So it was an honor to have him here painting that painting in front of the audience. So we'd like to continue to do more things like that. And then Jim has been so kind that he brings his cars to the gallery when we have one of our big art shows. So he'll bring the Ultimate Garages, his Porsche and his Ferrari, which looks wonderful in front of the gallery when we're doing one of our events. So thank you for doing that, Jim.
Too bad I don't have a Duesenberg.
I know, right?
And Jim, you are thinking about some other collaborations in terms of perhaps, some unique things like fashion.
Yeah, I think fashion, it goes hand in hand. So yeah, looking at collaborating with prestigious fashion designers and have them come on board here, and everything is possible. If you put your mind, if you have the passion, right? It all starts with passion. You have to be passionate about something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, then you get a great mind like Jay's, and things flow from there.
Bring some of these Parisian fashion designers here, Jim. We're Italian fashion designers,
Absolutely.
And you're golden. You won't have a spot that's not available in your space outside.
Yeah, we talked about the Italian designers, but right behind us is this Duesenberg. Back in the early 20th century, this was the luxury brand of America.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah, this piece is an amazing piece done by a great artist from Ontario, Don Kilby. And this piece here was actually created for the Jay Leno event. So Jay got to see it. He was totally in awe of it. But talk about art, fashion, and automobiles. So Duesenberg in the early 20th century, these cars were made for the elite, royalty, Duke of Windsor, Clark Gable had one, Al Capone had one. So they were really their time, and still now. I mean, they're in museums all over the world. But if you look at this piece, you just see the detail, the magnificent detail. And I'm looking, I see art everywhere. Not only that this is at Pebble Beach, at the Concours d'Elegance, but look at the people looking at it, fashion. Look at them, they probably have some artwork on their wall.
Definitely.
The detail in the chrome. So the beautiful piece, it's available, and it's spectacular. I don't think it'll last long here, but Don Kilby did a fantastic job. You've heard the term, it's a doozy, suggesting high tier or something of just extreme elegance. It's a doozy came out of Duesenberg. So
Wow.
that's where It's a Doozy came from.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting history. But tremendous piece. And then the lighting on this, we can change the dynamic of the blues in this. But yeah, pair of Duesenbergs at Pebble Beach. Just a tremendous piece.
We talk about art collectors and how they want sophistication in their home in terms of incredible craftsmanship in a piece. This is it.
Absolutely.
This is what we're talking about with highly collectible
Sure.
art. So it's a fantastic piece, and kudos to Don Kilby in Clarksburg, Ontario. Don's a fine artist, great guy, and he worked so hard
Yeah, Don did a
with
great
putting
job.
this
I
piece
know.
together.
Yeah, a little pressure from me. Jay Leno's on his way, and so tremendous amount of time and effort and hours went into it, and just a fantastic result.
So it is available for sale for those of you that are interested in potentially seeking out something grand.
Absolutely.
Reach out for Jim. And I just want to tie back, because it's my thing as well, to talk about, we find motion, power, precision, the aesthetic qualities in all of these exotic vehicles. But that's also related, and we talked a little bit about this, but Jay, you're the expert in this area. Just to talk about those qualities that we can tie back to the artists that are represented in your gallery.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things I like to say with, when you experience a Bentley or Ferrari or Porsche or any of these really high-end luxury work of art cars, the details all the way through. It's in the glove box, it's underneath the steering wheel, it's under the seats, it's even in the places you don't see. So it's the same thing with the cars. I think you find that a lot of it overlaps when you have artists involved that really care about what they're producing.
I think one of the interesting things to think about with a potential collaboration is that perhaps, you know some of the artists in your gallery that may be capable of doing beautiful figurative work, but also capable of doing automotive work.
Absolutely.
And doing the fashion aspect, and sort of marrying all of these different aspects together and bringing these artists to the forefront in terms of perhaps this would be a great place. Ultimate Garages, the garage here would be a fantastic place.
Absolutely.
For these types of collaborations to sit and be enjoyed, right?
Absolutely.
So food for thought. So we're about to wrap up, and so I think one of the things that I'd like to ask both of you is, what do you hope visitors will take away from this unique experience being here at the gallery at Ultimate Garages?
Yeah, for me, 2 words: purpose and passion. There's passion behind it all, and there's a purpose. Everything that we do here has a purpose to help those in the community. So it's about giving back, and what better way of doing that than working together with great people, great business-minded people. This man is a caring, kind man, and it's an easy formula, when you have that as the foundation. So
it makes it really natural, and I couldn't agree more. There's only one word I'd add to that, and that's quality. You know, there, you see the passion and purpose, but you see the quality too when you come through here, and your eye. And yeah, you see it in art, and yeah, you see it in the cars, but when you see the building that Jim's produced, there's nothing else like this in this country. I mean, this is as unique as you can design one. I mean, he's got a waiting list of 100 people just to try to get into one of these garages. It's in such demand. And then, of course, the services that you've come up with. For those of you who don't know, a big part of what Jim does is he provides emergency services during hurricanes. So for all of these people who have their cars, if they're not home, he'll come get your car, bring it here, and put it in a safe place, so that way your art is protected. And I actually do a similar thing at the gallery. We have what I call the vault, and I'll come get people's art during these storms, and I'll bring it to the vault and make sure that it's safe, because it's not, everything's replaceable, but time isn't, and it did take somebody a lot of time to create some of these things, and they're not all, there's not two of them, you know. So we care a lot about that too, and I think that's a big part of our passion is service, providing service to people as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Good
Joanne.
job.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Pleasure.
Joy. Thank you for joining us this morning, everyone. We do hope that you will come and visit this amazing facility. We will be putting location material into the video this morning so that people know how to contact both of you.
Come say hi.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a good day.
Have a good
Thank
day,
you.
everyone.